one of the things people have been talking about is the development project and how is government, following through with all these promises and all the things they are saying. And then also, as people continue to hear more and more news of places, and roads and structures being renovated and roads being built properly and all of that, sometimes people would like to see, because as much as you're saying it, you have to have that credence to show this is what the government is doing, so that later on, when the government is mentioning some achievements, and people don't doubt some of those things that the government is doing. So we are seeing the work that is being done in the nation, and clearly, like you can see, things are being done speedily. The good thing is, when you have some minded people who are very much into the nitty gritties of getting these roads, and all these places that bring access to certain points possible, then you are able to let people know how far we are going with development and with the achievements of our project. So one of these roads that was covered is from the Botwe to NanaKrom roads. As you can see people are working. They are doing things on the road with all these their heavy duty machines. There's just so many of them at all the vantage points. So this time they're not even doing it like we'll start from here, we'll go to this place. No, they are covering all. They start from one place, but then they've also started at another place. So they are just coming together. You can see fellows walking, so that as these people are doing their own, the other people are doing their own, and then everything is happening well. So for those of you who are using those roads, you'll notice that one part of the road has been blocked. It used to be very dusty with stones. I even quite remember, even recently, before they did a recent upgrade, when they started, they had to first dig out the road and refill it. But then it came to a point where there was these hard stones, so when cars are passing on it, especially those cars whose shock absorbers are not strong. For those of you who take the throttles, you know what we are talking about. Then you are feeling it under the car. Yeah, you feel it under the tukuru 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 tukuru. Yes, you hear it, and then you hear people making comments like, "Hey, can you did this?" Or you hear comments like, you get it. Those people in Ghana, they understand it. So these roads were made in each stages, and from the stony sides they poured the quota on it, and then they leveled it, and they are not just leaving it there like some projects are done by some people where they just leave it for people to use it for a while before later they'll try and get to the next stage. But this time they are doing it once and for all, so that there will be no such problem like while they are getting ready for the next stage, something else has been disrupted or stopped or spoiled or broken, and will have to need refixing before the next stage is made. Now, as you can see, work is being done. They poured all of that material, soil material, and the different types needed to do the works for this. We were glad to see it, even with the original head who you can see behind in the rear mirror right now, who was also monitoring the works, and then very grateful that they were going ahead. And I like the way the monitoring is going on. It's not too hard, it's not like that excessive, but then things are being checked. There's communication. We remember speaking about this some time ago, and this what makes some of these projects come out perfectly. The communication, so that one party is not feeling too high above the other, or another party is not feeling like without them the work cannot be done. Just that mutual understanding and feeling to bring a whole lot of beautiful questions together, and then from there we make our objectives of looking out and scratching out all those areas which need to be dead and gone, and then going forward with the ones that are very good. Look at all these heavy duty machines on the road, different types, plenty, and they are working. One thing I like is that there's just this calmness, there's the peace that surrounds work. When you are working and you have peace, there's not too much trouble or noise outside. You are able to flow. There's this workflow which you'd notice. So from the workflow, you are able to bring more output. So if you are producing certain bags of probably a raw material per an hour, if for example you are doing, let's say, 50 bucks an hour, when there's workflow and peace and all of that, you'll be able to even do more than the 50. Looking at 55, 60, and even very rare cases, people who are speedy can go to like 65 and thereabouts. So when you take all of that in place and then you watch the progress being done, it's amazing. This is like 90% done so far, but even they are not even stopping there. They are making sure they do all, and then they'll come and add these road markings where the lanes will be painted for the division to take place. But even before that, cars already know where they have to be, but even that one they'll do it. But it's just so progressive that we are grateful for it. And another thing we were speaking about was the road signs and some of the warning boards which are placed there. It's good. They did well to put these children crossing signs and all these other informative placards and billboards and stuff. Only thing that would just show that there's work being done. They just made sure to put them at those points. And even when you look at the children crossing, they did it at almost every interval of the road where a junction will come into, or there's some form of a confluence from two different roads to reach that place. They make sure to put it at such vantage points, and they concentrated more on those areas where people were more frequent to cross. So they look at the pedestrian volume of concentration in a certain camp, and then you compare to others, and then they'll see that okay, people use this part of the road more. Here there's more settlement here, so people will be more willing to use it. So they use the available ones at such areas. So even as you are using the road, for one reason or the other, you have to find yourself here. You see them, good, like one that you are seeing right now, the red one, children crossing. You see, it's at a very elaborate and expanded junction. So that's how it is. You would notice that these things we're speaking about. When you are doing some things, you don't just do them anyhow. You put these right aids in place. By that, then others who are using the place would know that this is what is happening. This is what is happening. Everyone is under a certain head who is playing out the functions properly. And you can see some pedestrians admiring the work and then using the pedestrian walkway below. And one also very recognizable thing is the walkway in the middle. Normally the pedestrian walkway is at the right and the left, but because of the way people are adjusting to things, they are using the middle. It's so wide. All these places will have some form of banners and signs later on, as well as signs for symbols, road symbols, and the rest. So yeah, but it's so wide when you are crossing over. If you are even over 3 or 4 or 5, you are maybe 6 or 7 in number, you each have a place to stand on. It's not like those roads where it's so small that everybody has to sort of squeeze in a straight line. But with this one, there's so much ease. So even look, that's Burkina seller over there waiting to cross the road. So you see, there's a lot of space for her to balance her body. Though she came very close to the edge, she wants to hurry up and go and sell her Burkina. For those of you who eat Burkina, you know how good that is. So congratulations to the lady for continuing her work. So you see, it's not every place that is narrow, but there are big and wide places enough. Even with the small places, even at least 3 people in a row would still feel comfortable, like you are seeing right now. Those road dividers. So there's enough of all the reservations placed so that people could feel free without the nerves bumping up and down of whether they are not supposed to be crossing or using this road. There's just freedom, and that's a loader over there pouring some soil material for road construction into a dump truck for it to convey the material to the needed place in areas where graders are used, so that the graders will then lay it very straight and in a linear form on the roads, which will then be compressed, and then after that some other heavy duty materials, equipment and vehicles will be passed over it. Sometimes you see them pushing one of these heavy things that look like trollers, and then sometimes they use the vehicles themselves, like the ones you'll be seeing very soon as they are passing on the road. You know that there's a lot of weight in the vehicles, exactly like this one that you just saw. There's a lot of weight in the front. It's used for doing that. So you see, as one person is doing one thing at the other end, another person is doing something here, and that's the road signs again for you to see. And things are just going on very smoothly, and we give the glory to the good Lord. So the road is being made to be the type that you can look and be sure that this is asphalt. You can look and be sure that this is correct road. You know, you have the name for it, because when you see it once and for all, your mind and your senses will pick it up that this is the type of road we're talking about. These are the types of, with all the right things in place. Just look at all those heavy metal, very heavy metal vehicles which have been placed at all the points. That's Amelia over there crossing the road. Hi Amelia. And then you continue to go around that place. It's beautiful. Let's commend these people who are doing the work. Let's all show our goodness and our godliness by giving them one form of congratulations or something after the work is done. Don't go and interrupt them as they're working. No, don't do that. Let them finish the work. Let them finish it, and after that you get them some supplies. There's nothing wrong with you doing that, showing that you are also willing to be a part of this success. Tomorrow when our kids, our children, our great grandchildren are seeing this and asking who and what's happened, they would know that people were put in place to do that. But what nobody will see, which will be rewarded for, is the one that you yourself want to contribute to do there. So see these workers and all of those who are in charge of the work here, say something nice or hand them something, and everything will go on well. We also liked the gaps between the bus stops, and also the length and space made available for cars to park and wait for a while as they use the road. We observed the length and we're very very much pleased. In some places they are too short, you just be able to put one or two cars in the back. These ones were very long enough. They were very long enough, so they didn't just look at the trajectory of one long car or one good car, or how a good strong lengthy vehicle will be able to park there, but they looked at other options, comparing it to the other opposite direction, and then looking at the perpendicular way it comes out through the middle linear line, and so that they can then use those assimilations and calculations to put the right stuffs in place, and then everyone who uses the road will have enough space on there. You can see how development is going, spanning beautifully in our nation. The glory goes to God. The Most High God has seen and heard us, and he's helping us to do things well. So that is it. We are very glad to cover this and to show the people the good works that are being done, so that the next future, when people want to learn from it, they can even use these as examples and see how the people were doing their work. They didn't wait for one person in one corner to finish his or her piece before bringing it to the next level. They are doing it in such trajectories. So those of you who want to use those junctions, please bear with them and understand. You'll notice that some of those places, they've mounted barriers and put this little items on the ground which prevents cars from passing through. It's because they are working in such a way they don't want interruption, number one, and number two, they don't want unwanted material to get into the road production process. In this stage, this is at a very delicate stage. They want to do the road in such a way that it will be so smooth. When it's smooth like that, when you are even in a car which doesn't have a good shock absorber, and which elements are not too strong, like maybe the link bar or probably the ball joint or all those low arm areas, even though it might not be that strong, when you're passing on the road, it will be so smooth. You feel like you are in how do you call those cars, the Land Cruisers and all you just feel very very relaxed and comfortable and not shaky at all. So that is it. We also were very glad to note that when you're driving, especially when you're coming from the school junction area down towards the NanaKrom, you realize that the slope was made so beautifully that you don't even have to worry about speeding. The moment you gather a little speed, about after 50 to 55 or 60 kilometers, the rest is being done for you. The road is so smooth, the slope goes just sweetly, so you don't even have to worry about speeding. Some people just put it in neutral and then just enjoy the road, just calm and liking how things are going. Okay, so let's see what comment do you have about this video. Let's see how we ourselves could be of help to the nation. Apart from these people who are doing their jobs, we ourselves have a job also to do. We thank all the regional heads and all of those people who came together to make sure this was possible, and we will give the glory to the Lord God Almighty, because He always makes these things possible. Okay, so let's see what you think. Any ideas at all, you can drop them in the comment section below. And who knows, you may know of another area that may need some fixing and some road works, or maybe you want that place to also be covered so that developments can go on. Just let us know in the comment section below. Thank you very, very, very much for listening and watching. Do well to have a very, 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 very nice day. Yeah, have a very nice day. We'll see you later.